Aman, can you move?
Yeah. Share the screen. Yeah. Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, good. I've just shared the first screen.
We are on the main screen. Topic.
You're looking at the main screen, right? Okay.
Yeah. Spotlight chapter. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just give us a few seconds more. Okay. 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 Good. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Good day to everyone. Today we are in this sixth episode of season 6. My name is Ashfaq Ahmed, and I am the anchor of PMI Chapter Xchange program. I am also the vice president of PMI Mumbai chapter. Before we begin, would like to acknowledge our volunteers' effort. So can I quickly call upon our volunteers and request them to raise a hand and introduce themselves to the audience? Tao from PMI Taiwan chapter.
Hi everyone, welcome to join
Tao is
season
also
6.
doubling up today as a panelist for our discussion. Thank you, Tao. Thank you for being here. Priscilla
Hi.
from Brazil chapter, South South. Go ahead, Priscilla.
Hi everyone, welcome. It's morning here. I'm from PMI São Paulo.
Anita is not around. Okay, Amod from Mumbai chapter. Amod is busy in the background setting up, so we'll hear him later. Aman from Mumbai chapter. Aman, you want to quickly say hi to the audience?
Come.
Esther from PMI chapter of Madrid, Spain, and here is afternoon as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Rangaraj, you want to say hi to the audience, please?
He's in the background. Sorry.
Okay, he's in the background. Okay, no problem. So moving on to the next slide. This is a new activity that we recently started, and this is about what's going around. So we want to support our supporting chapters and ensure that they also benefit from the global event that we do. So I'm quickly sharing my screen to share the video of Thank you for watching that. We go back to our presentation. So this was the video from the Prism, which is by Malaysia chapter. So they have requested us to share this video, and the Malaysia chapter is willing to provide a 10% discount for anybody who registers for this event. This is a virtual event, and the discount code is on my screen. Prism offer 2025. So anybody who's interested in attending or joining this event can quickly log in or register for this and avail a 10% discount. So this is the discount code, if you are able to see, Prism offer 2025. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Here we show you the list of events that we are planning to do in the coming months. So we have already done 6 events. and we have planned for another 5 events to be done in this year. So here are the list of the ones. The third Friday of every month is what we plan, and we, as far as possible, we try to stick to this plan and execute those events. Going on to the Xchange effect. So welcome to our PMI Chapter Xchange Season 6, Event 6. Today we discuss the rapidly adapting to changing business environment. Today we have our PMI friends joining us from 39 different PMI chapters from across the globe: North America, Latin America, Europe, Africa, and Asia, plus many supporting chapters from the globe, across the globe. We will close today's session with a registration link for our next event, which is happening on 15th of August. So please stay back till the end to register for our next event as soon as before this gets over. Priscilla, you want to talk about the exchange effect?
Sure, thank you, Ahmed. So we are excited to announce that today's session has reached over 2,800 registrations from 75 countries across various continents. Thank you all for being part of this global gathering. Next one, please. As we begin, we encourage you to keep networking using the chat window. A quick reminder, this session is being recorded. So if you feel uncomfortable with that, you may choose not to participate. Otherwise, you are very welcome to stay with us today. Please also note that speakers are sharing insights in their individual capacities, and their views do not necessarily reflect those of their organizations. Next one, please. As in past events, we invite you to participate in our attendee spotlight section. To join, simply share an inspiring quote or comment related to today's topic in the chat window. Our team will select one to spotlight at the end of this session. We look forward to seeing your contributions. Next one, please. Over to you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Priscilla. Just a snapshot of our program. Chapter Exchange program is a PMI chapter collaboration initiative. We have 39 partnering chapters and many supporting chapters on this program, representing all regions that PMI is in today. We are also in discussion with some other chapters to onboard them soon. PMI Chapter Exchange is a virtual community of chapter leaders, a community that transcends across countries, continents, and culture. And we like to put it that way. Our vision is to evangelize cross-chapter collaboration and encourage cultural diversity. It is also about teamwork, co-creating monthly events to bring diverse perspectives to our chapter members, and spurring networking and collaboration opportunities. And by doing so, we are building a community to share good practice within and extend to the program. That is why you will notice chapters from diverse backgrounds participate in this program. Because we truly believe diverse connections leads to innovative solutions. Moving on to the next slide, this is the chapter exchange effect. So we have released a chapter exchange book, which is available on Amazon. The previous versions. We are working on the next version. Moving on to the next one. So over to Priscilla.
Thank you again, Ahmed. So I have the pleasure to introduce our guest speaker of the day and moderator of the day as well, Anjana. Anjana is a transformative leader with over 25 years of experience in internal audit, compliance, risk management, and governance. She has a proven history of pushing boundaries and driving innovative changes in her field. Currently, she serves as the head of analytics and tooling at Euroclear, where she empowers compliance teams with smarter data and digital solutions. Anjana excels in innovation, entrepreneurship, and team building, having successfully led initiatives that provide proactive risks insight and effective process through data analytics and digital technologies. Certified as a PMP since 2006, and Jenna also holds an MBA and has multiple certifications in AI, analytics, audit, and risk management. Outside of her professional role, Jenna is a passionate advocate and mentor for women's empowerment, helping women develop technical skills for career growth and job enrichment. She's an active volunteer and currently serves as the Director of Media and Marketing for the UAE chapter of the Project Management Institute and an active member of UAE AI and Data Leaders Community. Thank you for joining us today, and Jenna, over to you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Priscilla. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're joining. I see people from across the world are joining. I think this is the exact objective of Chapter Exchange. And very happy to be joining as a keynote speaker, as well as to give a preface to the wonderful conversation I'm looking forward to have with this talented panel. So, talking about the changing business environments, I think this is a phenomena that has been making quite a bit of buzz in the recent past. Talking about the different advancements happening in the business environment and the corporate world, and also the rapidly changing environments coming in. So, having a look, let's try to dig deeper into what are these changing business environments means to us as professionals, project managers, and business leaders. Let's move on to the next slide, Ahmed. All right, so I would like to pose a question to our audience today. Looking at your professional or personal life, can you tell me something that changed the way you work in the last 3 years? I would count in from the COVID era up to until now. What are the changes that you have experienced? Tell me a different way how you have been approaching your work. I would look at the chat. Automation, thank you, Sheriff. Yes, we've seen a very rapid increase in the automation. Working virtually, absolutely. Online, yes, AI is making quite a buzz. More on the digitalization, absolutely. Yes, thank you. AI seems to be a key topic coming up or a theme coming up. How about your personal life? What has changed? Hybrid working, online? Anybody who is joining in from their smartphones today? Anybody joining in while they're driving or on the way or in a coffee shop? How do you find from locations to go, time required, or whether it's going to rain tomorrow, for example? Yes, thank you, Sheriff. You are at home and on your smartphone. I'm sure you are enjoying a nice coffee in the evening. 3 days in office and for the last 3 years. Yes. Hitesh, hello for KSA. Yes, Preeti, I can see you're joining while driving. So you get the point that I'm trying to make. Our lives have changed drastically. I think COVID, it was deserves a very good applaud for pushing us to think how best we can operate, how can we move on with our lives, being trapped inside our home bounds, right? Not being able to go out, but still building connectivity, still making the work continue, as well as making sure that we learn new skills as well. I'm sure a lot of us has challenges joining into Zoom to Teams, if you can recall your memories from those days, how to enable your mic. There were a lot of things that changed. And I cannot imagine my life now not having my Google Maps, right? Knowing where the radars are when I'm driving. And also looking into things like the commute. What's the best way to go, weather, things like that. Even keeping in touch with my friends and family using WhatsApp. So these are some of the changes from my end, which I would like to share with you. So I would like to briefly share with you all a quick video. Let's have a look at what this changing business means or kind of an introduction to us. Ashraf is going to help me with this.
The future of work is no longer somewhere in the distance. It's here, now. As organizations pivot overnight to respond to an unprecedented global health challenge, there's never been a more critical opportunity to get the future of work right. Structural changes are rapidly evolving, and work will likely never be the same. Now, many business leaders face unexpected sweeping reinvention related to work, the workforce, and the workplace, and there's no turning back. We know it won't be easy. Global leaders will be forced to make hard choices, balancing business outcomes and talent impacts over the short and long term. But we are resilient, and recovery will happen. To help accelerate the recovery and prepare organizations to thrive, leaders should reimagine their approach to workforce strategy, to redesign work and explore the benefits of change. Workforce development, to cultivate learning in the flow of life, and build a more resilient workforce. Workforce experience, to make people feel comforted, connected, and that they are contributing to the organization when they need it the most. The workplace itself, flipping orthodoxies on where the work happens to unlock increased productivity and collaboration to deliver more value. We're here to help you navigate through extraordinary times and create a bold, sustainable path forward. The future is now. Are you ready to thrive?
Thank you, Ashraf. Yes, this was a video which I have the privilege of sharing, which is from the Deloitte, which is one of the leading consultancy firms. But then I think it kind of sums up the future is not tomorrow, it's already here. So the
you
topic
wake up with the limited
today,
amount of discipline, and the more decisions you make, the lesser and lesser and
hear the
lesser.
background
And this is why you can't stick to your exercise. And this is the same reason why your to-do list is never finished. And this is why by the end of the day you say,
I think this is another example. Yes, technology is advancing, and sometimes it doesn't work or behave the way which we want it to be as well. So just to sum up on what we had a look at in the video, the shifting landscape, which we need to be mindful of and be adapting to, is causing due to digital transformation, which most of you said very correctly, digitalization, automations, AI coming in. It is shaking how companies operate, how individuals should operate, and what skill set to look into as well. And the globalization of businesses. I think, again, I'm going back to the greatest example, which is near to us, what had been COVID, how new businesses came into form, how businesses expanded and became very innovative, globally offering their services and presence across the world. And then the changing customer expectations and demands. As customers, we have become more demanding, and our expectations go up as much as we experience new things. Think about ordering food from online apps, which was not there a few years ago, or ordering a taxi, even knowing when your order is going to come onto you from Amazon or Alibaba. Now you would get to the point daily updates as to when it's going to come, who's going to deliver it to you, what time, right? And also looking at the different technological advancements which are coming in. We talked about AI, and then we have digital twins, metaverse, IoT, smartphones, you name it. There's an explosion of technological advancements happening, which is making these industries, businesses, pushing to change their approach, their survival mechanisms, as well as how they're going to thrive in the business environment. So this is looking at the shifting landscape of things. If we move on to the next slide. So this is a snapshot of what I have taken from the latest World Economic Forum report. As per them, 44% of our core skills, which we are using today, will be obsolete in 5 years' time. It's in the near future, it's a half a decade time. Whatever we know, there will be 44% of it is going to be obsolete. So what does it mean to us, right? Which is pushing us to acquire new skills and thinking about how to stay up to date, reskilling, upskilling, as well as pushing us to be lifelong learners. We didn't know about AI a few years ago as much as we know today, or we were not embracing it as much as today. So we will have to be lifelong learners, not only as professionals, but as individuals to survive and to make use of these technologies for our betterment and making our lives easier, and also to take control of how we want our development to be, which is the path that we should take as professionals to stay relevant, which we'll dig deeper into during our panel discussion as well, how to thrive, navigate this new environment which we're talking about in the changing business world. So with that, I would conclude my keynote, and I'll ask Ashraf to let us know what's next in the agenda. Over to you, Ashraf.
Thank you, Anjana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a very nice context setting for all of us, and a nice, very good video for us to understand what the future looks like. Moving on to the next segment, which is the Spotlight chapter. Do we have Frank from Ghana chapter on the stage? Frank, are you there? Amod, can you check if Frank is there? He said he has joined. Okay, so we will move on to the next, to the panel discussion, and then we'll come back to the spotlight after that. So I have stopped sharing. I'll share again with the move on to the panel discussion. Is Frank there? Still last call for Frank. Okay. So we will move on to the panel discussion, and we'll hand it over to Anjana to take it forward. Okay. We have already introduced. Okay. The next panelist. Yes, Anjana, go ahead.
Yes, I think now I'm already introduced. Yes, let me take over. So I have the pleasure of welcoming Charlene Forbes, who is joining us from the South Africa chapter. Charlene, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So just from a current role perspective, I actually am part of the PMI South Africa chapter, where I am the VP for Professional Development. And then I do work in the project management field in technology. So basically have been in that industry for the last 15 plus years. So digital transformation and data and all these wonderful things that we see every day. I deal with that on a regular basis. So I think that's all I'm going to share with you guys. Just maybe from education, like as you can see, I've got my PMP and all of that. But I'm very excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Charlene. Welcome on behalf of everyone. And then next is Esther Mari, who's joining in from the Madrid, Spain chapter. Welcome, Esther. Please introduce yourself. Yes.
Yes, I can introduce myself. I'm I'm engineer by education. I'm telecommunication engineer by education. I have also an MBA and, of course, PMP and certification and safety and Scrum Master certification. I was working as PM, a senior PM, program manager since basically from the beginning of my career as engineer in the 90s. And now I'm managing a PMO office in Cisco, managing telecommunication projects. It's a pleasure to me to be here. Also, I volunteer in the Madrid chapter, doing some community manager in the social network for the PMI.
Amazing.
So,
welcome, Esther. All right, let's see who's joining us next. Ricardo, yes, Ricardo Serra, who is joining us from the Mexico chapter. Welcome, Ricardo.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me here today. Very excited about this exchange opportunity. Well, allow me to introduce myself. I've been working for a little bit over 37 years in the electronic industry here in Mexico, serving many of the tier one customers that exist. In one of our previous companies, Cisco was one of the customers that I used to work with, by the way. I am right now, I've been working as an independent consultant. For over 12 years, I've been a PMP, but until I joined the PMI, I realized that I had been doing project management for most of the life of my professional life. So that has been extremely exciting. So thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you, Ricardo. Welcome again to the forum. Okay, this next gentleman is no stranger to us in the PMI Exchange and the PMI fraternity, but I warmly welcome Tao, who is from the Taiwan chapter. Hello, Tao.
Hi, nice to have so glad to see you guys again. I mean, this is not my first time here, and should not be the last time. Yeah, so people probably knows me well. I mean, I've been working with AI for over 7 years now, and we have collaborated with many chapters around in the world. But regarding AI and the business change, so that's about me. So you can see my profile. I mean, or I've been over. Of course, I'm PMI Taiwan's vice president, and also the PMI SME for the AI. And I've been I think so. That's so much I've been talked about. I mean, I need to share my stage to others. Okay, so we'll see you later. Yeah.
Thank you, Tao. Welcome to the discussion. Yes, next we have Shivantika De Costa from the Colombo, Sri Lanka chapter joining us on the panel. Welcome, Shivantika.
Thank you, Anjana. Thank you very much for having me joining with this amazing session. So I'm Shivantika Costa, all the way from Colombo, Sri Lanka. So I have been working in the telecommunication industry more than 25 years, having experience in sales, corporate strategy, new business development, as well as project management. Currently, I am holding AVP events of PMI Sri Lanka chapter, and also I'm a Toastmaster, holding a division PR manager in District 82. And I'm more excited to contribute my experience, ideas in this amazing panel. Thank you, Anjana.
Thank you very much, Shivantika. Welcome to the panel. All right. So I guess with that, we have all the panelists introduced. All right. So we all are here. So let's get started. So in my keynote, I was just talking about and introducing with regard to the changes in the business environment, and then the different dimensions which is impacting these changes coming in. So let's get started from a very basic point. As professionals, how can we identify whether there's a rapid change in the environment we are in? I think I'm going to turn to you, Tao, first. How can we identify whether there is a rapid change going on? What kind of indicators are the pointers or triggers in this?
Okay, okay, very nice questions, and this is a very basic question, of course. So we have when we are in the rapid pace environments right now. I mean, we are getting rapid changes, and you can find some evidence from the audience and from the business environments. I mean, we finally realize that sudden change shifts in the customer behaviors. So in the past, probably we have every like the sprints or the iteration just like 2 to 3 weeks. Nowadays we just find out ourselves in like 3 to 4 days. And every time we wake up every morning, if you check the Hugging Faces, you check the GitHub, you'll find lots of the applications up. I mean, it's so surprised, and we just sometimes we are too afraid to sleep right now. Just every time we open our eyes and we see any new application, and we have to start, we have to learn for it. So that's how fast it is. And also we have the disrupt the current model, and we have so many models right now. Today we have the OpenAI's new AI agents just released, and so every single time we see the new disruption. I mean, and something like that. So just like for example, when we are not supposed to see this in the past, like before 2022. For example, the Ghiblis. I mean, the Ghiblis you guys are using quite well. I mean, you to draw pictures of your friends, use Ghiblis. But you know how many companies running off the business because of that? To my knowledge, over 10 companies have to change their visions or change their missions based on that, because they cannot just provide like the image provide generation anymore. So they have to change their business models based on that. So that's the regular change, and also, of course, we are going to see many kind of the ethical change and the law based on the AI in the future. So that's how fast it could be. And also, competitors like us, we have so many unicorns nowadays. So that we cannot even do SWOT analysis. We cannot do the path analysis or Porter 5 forces anymore because we don't see any competitor right now. So that's how fast it is, and that's we see this kind of so fast, and we have to respond, and embrace the change. And sometimes we know we are going to fail, but then resilience will be fine. I mean, so we are going to come back. So that's how we prove the how we face the new era right now. That's my take.
Thank you, Tao. That's really interesting. Just to sum up, time to market, and then the exorbitant disruption in industries, adopting AI, Gen AI, and the related tech, and also having a look at how many companies are new, as well as you said, a very interesting thing, how many companies are going out of business. So these are indicators how rapidly business or the environments are changing. Very interesting. So having a look at the environmental changes around the corporate world or the business industries, I would like to get some insights from you, Ricardo. So as organizations or business leaders, how should organizations gear up in moving along with or coping with this rapid change? What are your thoughts on that, Ricardo?
Well, it's a very interesting question. Actually, one of the main things that the organization has to do is accept that this is actually happening, right? I mean, we need to accept what Tao was just mentioning, that you wake up in the morning and the company that you're working on or the organization that you're working on is not the same as the one that we had yesterday, right? So one of the things that the organization must have, once that they have a clear vision, try not to stick to the regular strategy that was defined originally, right? Originally, I mean, 3 years ago, you were talking about that, and Jana. 3 years ago, companies would make a strategy meeting for the next 12 months, 3 years, and 5 years. And that was the planning, and you would not move around that. So one of the big things that companies should do is start revising those strategies on a more frequent basis, because things are changing very quickly. So strategies have to change as well very quickly. Something else that the organization has to do is be extremely close to the stakeholders. Customers, you must have customers really close to you. You must have the customers on your side all the time and communicating with them. You were talking about companies, going back, forth, moving or not. The same changes that we are seeing, the same dynamics that we are seeing in our organization is what our stakeholders are seeing. So we need to be very close to them so that we can move, change, and adapt at the speed that they also have. There's one great tool that I think that we use that is critical, and that's the scenario planning. You make different scenarios, you put this, and you have to communicate this with your employees, with your upper management, with your directed team, with all your stakeholders, with your customers, and plan for those scenarios. Things change here very rapidly right now. So you need to look into those scenarios. Some of them are never going to happen, but some of them for sure will happen. So those things, I believe, are key to what we should be doing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for saying that. I really like what you said. The first thing is accept it's happening and it's here. I think that's
Absolutely.
we all have to accept it and also see what's next. And I like the fact that you said don't try to be a regular. I think that's another key message to say if you're trying to be very traditional or like, a regular basis of things, I think in this new era, which will be very challenging to survive. And also check the pulse on the ground. If your customer is who's going to make you live, breathe, and continue and sustain. So staying closer to them is going to make sure that you would be sustainable. At least you will have the triggers or the pointers, whether you are losing it. So that's very interesting. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Moving on. So we looked at the environment, we looked at the organizations. Next would be the obvious thing is going to be the people around it, right? So I would like to turn to Shivantika to know, as leaders, how can we foster a culture? Because these changes are requiring us to be adaptable, resilient, and then keep going. How can, as leaders, we can foster this? What are your thoughts, Shivantika?
Yes, interesting question, Anjana. Actually, in order to sustain in fast-moving world, leaders lies a huge responsibility to drive the organization in order to face the changes arise because of the business environment changes. So, as I mentioned earlier, leaders is the backbone of the organization. So they can apply the great leadership skills and competencies in order to overcome these challenges which arise due to changes happen in the internal and external environment. So as a leader, I would say that first thing, rather than thinking about how do we face these changes, do we need to change the people, do we need to change the structure, do we need to change the technology, I think the leader should concentrate more about how to have this mindset shifting, right? The mindset is one of the core thing that leaders should concentrate, because each and every person in the organization, they should embrace that changes are unavoidable and inevitable. So we have to tackle it. We have to manage it while using our skills and competencies. So as a leader, they can show and the different kind of strategies, and they can encourage open communication, as well as they can use these open communications in very often. Because when people know more about the organization, how it's performing, where are they now and where they want to go, and what are the strategic, what are the objectives and what are the opportunities, then people try to trust the organization process. So as a result of that, they more like to provide their maximum contribution towards achieving the organization's strategic objectives and goals. And also, as a leader, when they empower the continuous learning culture within organization, that is also another very powerful tool and technique that leaders can apply. Because leadership is not just about commanding and demanding. It's all about empowering people to take smart decisions which have sustained success in the organization. So leaders, when they encourage a continuous learning, they can provide training, mentoring, coaching sessions, because, moment by moment, the technology, everything changed in this fast rapid environment. So they can encourage or create a culture which encourage continuous learning, because today knowledge is may not sufficient or outdated for tomorrow's situation. So updated knowledge is very, very important. So they can provide training sessions, workshops, peer-to-peer training. There are a lot of things that they can apply. Yeah, Anjana?
Amazing. I really like the points that you mentioned, especially the things that I sort of registered in my mind. The first thing is around the mindset shift. I think that ties in very nicely with what Ricardo said about accepting that there is a change and you need to change your mindset as leaders, because we are setting the tone, and then make it open and honest, regular communications and conversations, and then building that trust. so that yes, there will be a lot of unknowns, but then the leaders will be together. I really like it. And then building that trust and empowerment to the community or the organization they're leading in. I would like to ask any of our panelists would like to add in anything to what Shivantika mentioned already. And a request to our audience, if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat and we'll try to answer them as much as possible during the session. Just wanted to check with any of our panelists whether you have any thoughts around the leadership.
Yeah, so I will add something. I mean, yeah. So to me, like nowadays, the leader, we now in the past because we don't probably some of the us we don't have the tech background, and so we cannot do anything without the fire just adding in the new Jira tickets for every the tech people to do things for us. But nowadays we are different. I mean, as a leaders, we have to show something. We have to because we have something in mind, and we can make it possible right away. So how now I just realized this: if we don't try to build a quick wins around our society or in our organizations, then we cannot actually convince people to believe us. So we have all the tools now. We have the cloud AI, we have the Laughable, we have the everything you have to build the code. So very simple way, perhaps very simple dashboards, very simple ERP or MRPs. That's just for just application level, and then just prove that we have the solution. So we have to change our mind from what should we do to how should we improve it. So that's a point we are going to do, and we have to show people by ourselves. We have to actually do this because it's not that hard to do this, and so we have to embrace the change, of course, and then of course we have to have to show by example and actually build something, and so people can see the prototype, and then they can know how to get improvements, and then they get a chance to follow us. So that's what I find in this, especially after 2025. And this kind of the thing we have to lead, and so people will just start to follow us.
That's very interesting, Tao. Thank you so much. We'll have to shift from what to do to how do we get it done, and then building trust and also building those capabilities so that the organization could thrive and also move forward in that. Along with that question, I'm thinking of a different dimension around the leadership again. I would like to turn to you, Charlie. With regard to in what ways do you think that the leadership traits have to evolve during this time of rapid change? Because it looks like there's a lot of responsibility, accountability, and uncertainty laid on leaders. So how should the leadership change or evolve?
Yeah, so I think it's the first thing I wanted to say is leaders are also human beings. So we all go through, I think when you have change, the initial thing, if you look at the transition curve, is always that shock and the denial when you first initially get the news or whatever might happen. And even, let's mention AI today. It's a big topic and everybody is wondering what's going to be. They're also just human beings. So I think that's the first thing we need to understand is that when we look at our leaders, they might not always have the answers, but that's why they maybe employ the right people. So that's the first thing I want to just mention to people. Like Richard has mentioned as well now, a strategy needs to be done more frequently. I would really honestly say that, and not just a strategy and from one person, but involving a lot of other people in your business as well. And like Sharika also mentioned now, it's the mindset. It's really changing those individuals that you're working with, not just at your C-level suite, but also all the way down. And that is where I think what I wrote down is ATCAR, and that is the change management methodology, basically what they bring, and that is bringing awareness. How are you going to communicate? What is that? What is your messaging going to be? How frequent are you going to do it? Motivating and engaging with your people. If you're going to sit in your office and hope something is going to happen, I think that is not going to bring anything into your business. It's just going to bring more fear, knowledge and information. Training. We are so lucky today that we have the ability to go and find so much training on any topic or on anything. And it's really making sure that you look at your business and say, how can I prepare my people in advance? Removing the barriers when they do go through those things is to listen to them and really, really find out where's the problems and what to do. And it's the leadership that only gives the flexibility and the openness to those people to be able to give that feedback. And it's reinforcing change. It is really to make sure that this is not every day something new will happen. And that's where that mindset, I think, comes in as well. But it happens at the top level. Those are the guys that are our Northern Stars. Those are the guys, if they look at Agile and their project needs to go to, priority number 10, and somebody else's go to some priority number 2, it's part of life. And if they accept that and they say, okay, this is right, I'm not the important person, my priority is the important thing here, then it's a different conversation. So it's a little bit of a human aspect, but I think there's a lot of responsibility on them, but it starts with them themselves, and as well how you treat your people, how you train them. And change, we are human beings. What is so nice about it is we adapt much easier than what we normally think, but it's really about how we go about it.
Amazing. I really like it. I really like how you started is saying, yeah, they're human. They're also trying to figure it out as leaders, and they're leading a bunch of humans who are equally excited, as well as there are a lot of unknowns. So how you navigate through and build that trust, and then direction as well. Yes, getting the right people, and then making sure that your strategy is dynamic and it reflects to where you want to head. The flexibility, innovation, and also that reinforcement that it is a change, and what is the pace you want to drive it, whether you want to apply brakes or want to accelerate. And then also having that balanced mindset to say that, like, yes, let's give priority to the business, not to an individual or the most important person. Very nice. Thank you so much, Charlene, for sharing that. And I see somebody, I think Alap is putting on the chat saying, stop asking what's the plan and start asking how fast can we pivot. I like that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Alap. All right, moving on. I'm turning to Esther right now. So we talked about the leadership, we talked about the organizations and all these things moving very fast, pushing people to think out of the box and thinking of how innovation should be, how to drive it. So as organizations, what is your view? How can an organization balance this innovation as well as the operational stability? Because these seems to be clashing and might be a bit challenging to manage. What are your thoughts, Esther?
This is the problem. Now we are in the area, in the moment of the AI. AI is all for all the organizations, but the first thing that we need to do as managers, as organizations, is to start education. I think all my colleagues said that education, how to use it and how to use in the productivity that we have currently done. But also at the same time, we need to have a mindset. Another colleague said the same, a mindset of Agile. If we are not Agile, we cannot introduce the new tools, the new AI area that we are. So it's important to ask the team to adapt to the new moment, and also take these new moments like an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to find new business cases, to find new things. So for me, I think we need to ask the teams to take their own decisions, to provide them as organization the possibility to take the decision by themselves, and the power, because as PMs, if we don't have the power to take decision and to ask the team to take the decision, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to move forward. And also, one of the things that we know as PMs is the risk management. The risk management is part of our key for going forward. If we don't have risk management from the beginning, it's one of our first things that we need to have when we manage the changes. Is the risk management, the way to think before the problem happens, how we are going to solve it. So to move forward, to move quickly on this in this new rapidly changes in the organization, is to have people ready to take the ownership of the problems, with obviously with training, as my colleague said, and also to be very agile. And otherwise, it's impossible to take these changes. So I know that all my colleagues said that, and only take something, because we are all in the same mood, and it's difficult to, after my colleagues, to say something different, because I agree completely with all of them. So but for me, risk management as PMs is most of the important thing that we need to take into account together with other people.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Esther. Yes, driving innovation and making those decisions is not going to be one person's job. And as project managers, we will make sure that we bring the crowd together, and it's a unanimous decision, and you have the consensus. And something that I really like, me coming from an audit background, is the risk management part. This is something even I would like tell my stakeholders, that we need to see what's the risk to the business, and then how important it is, or what is the priority. That I really like. And then I think a key theme, or which is echoing across this uncertainty and the times of change, is being agile and having that mindset. And not only the mindset, but you practice what you preach. Making sure that your processes and the decision making, everything is agile, and we have that mindset and the culture shift coming in. Very interesting, Esther. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we discussed, I guess, quite an interesting element of things. We've talked about the environment coming in, we've talked about business, the leadership, and then how do we balance the innovation and the operational excellence coming in. So looking into, I think, a bigger emphasis is around this change, and the rapid movement is caused by the technological aspects of things. So I'm going to turn to you, Tao, again, to talk a little bit about, like, how can technology be leveraged, because the markets are having dynamic shifts, like, sudden shifts coming in. So how can business leaders, as managers and project managers, how can we leverage technology to help us respond to these shifts better?
Okay, it's a very good questions. And now actually, so we have the AI right now. We have the AI, of course, Gen AI automation processes to help to support us. So everything will become very easy for us right now. And so we have what we call AI powered data monitoring that will detect every single kind of for our environments, for example, cell anomalies or social data or social trend for us. So to be honest, for example, we have RSS like the collectors, like to collect all the RS around Taiwan or around China, or around South Asia Pacific, and just so we can, and then we also make if we also that we have the AI that can know what we are doing with, for example, project descriptions and everything. So they will combine together, and then before every meeting. So for example, we have every meeting Monday. We have meeting on every Monday, and then we are going to, before the meeting, that we will ask the AI automation to send one message to us. To first of all, we'll going through all the RSS we gave them to read, and then also another one will be the project scope and the project descriptions for our projects. So then we are going to have a list of the thing the AI will suggest us to do, like consultants, and we don't get paid. So that's why we just go. I just goes before especially for the agile things. So for example, for the planning, a spring planning process, the spring planning meeting. That's very important for the team, so to make decisions. So in the past, if we want to get those decisions, we have to get around, and we have to file applications, and then probably 2 weeks, and we'll get the newest data, newest trend back to us. But nowadays, we don't need to do that anymore, and then so we can have that with us to us like every single week. So that's very successful, and we are going to know what we're going to change, and then so we are going to meet the markets will meet what the customer needs. So that's very important for especially for the customer team, especially for the app teams that create new functions every single week. So that's the one application for it. And of course, we have the Gen AI to help us to do like especially SWOT analysis and business cases before that we start every project. And so that's how we know what is going to happen. And so we are not going to we are going to put our companies the advantages and disadvantages in there, and also know our company profiles and also customer profiles, so that the AI will give us something we don't notice about. So and that really did, and that really helped us a lot. So we find something we didn't know. And so that's the two case studies, and probably are going to share. Back to you.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Tao. So we would act as consultants, and then what we need to keep in our mind is that we are here to meet the market demands or customer requirements, not any other agenda. That should be the main agenda coming in. And then make use of these advanced tools like Gen AI for your analysis, assessments, and review of things. I think that is a very good take. I'm just gonna address two of the questions which was interrelated to that. One was raised by Luis Moran. How to be fast, adaptable, and sustainable on a strategy for project management and business with such many waves. I think because the chat is so dynamic, it keeps moving up. You'll have to excuse me for that. Yes, many waves of technology and tools tsunamiing us at the same time and building high. So I guess, Luis, I think you got your answer. We need to keep in mind, irrespective of which technology it is or which hype we are being caught up in, I've always asked the question, what we are here to meet the customer demands, the market demands. So what is going to help you to go there? Same goes to you, William Kojo. I hope I'm pronouncing the name Ahito. How do we incorporate AI into the project management environment if you have not done it already? What I would say is do your pre-assessment, whether AI is the thing for you, and what is it going to help you in terms of achieving your market and customer demands. And then the rest, I'm sure you will be able to figure out what should be the next steps coming in. All right. Along with that, let me move on to my next question. I'm going to turn to you, Ricardo. Talking about, we talked about the technology and the rapidly changing environment, etc. So I guess that poses a challenge not only for the leadership. Next, looking at as an organization, how can you make sure that you are adaptable and then accustomed to and resilient to the rapid changes that is happening? So in your experience, what are your thoughts? How can organization structures or the processes can be streamlined or adapted to cope up with these rapid changes?
Well, one of the big things that I believe that any organization has to do is start accepting that perfect is the enemy of good. One of the things that we need to make sure is that the organization is allowed to make mistakes. The organization needs to, everything is changing so rapidly that the decisions that we're going to make may not necessarily be the best or the perfect ones that we want to have. But it's better to have a change in direction. It's better to have some sort of willingness to move to another direction, even though the result might not be that perfect thing that we want, right? That idealistic thing that I make a decision because I am the leader, I am the director or the general manager of the site, and that's what's going to happen and that's what's going to work, needs to be taken away from the mindset of the organization. We need to understand that everything is changing very quickly, and we might make some mistakes, some honest mistakes, some very well thought things, but those changes that may be looked as mistakes are really changes or movements into a correct direction. We're talking about resiliency, we're talking about flexibility, right? So we move, we make that change, and then we adjust again. So one of the things that we need to learn as an organization is that we have to adjust very quickly, and that those adjustments may not take us to where we want, but are going to start being some sort of a better direction that we want to have. The other thing that I believe is critical, and I don't want to beat into what Esther mentioned about risk management, but risk management is just fundamental. I mean, we need to look into that every day, just like we did when I talked about the strategy, that the strategy has to be done very, much more frequently than it was done. Risk management must be done also in an increased frequency, right? And the other thing, and this is critical for the organization must trust their employees. Organization must trust the leaders. And us as leader must trust our team as well. Because there's right now in this rapidly changing environment, in this agile environment, everybody needs to do what they have to do. So one of the traits also that the leader must have, or the organization must have, is be able to mentor everybody so that they can do their job correctly. So we need to trust our team. If we don't trust our team, if the organization does not trust their team, we're going to be doomed.
Amazing, amazing. I really like it. Yes, we should be allowed to make mistakes, but then those mistakes should be directing us to driving change, and maybe it can be in direction, or at least let's learn from it so that we can re-navigate into the correct direction. And I like the final point that you made is that this is all based on trust, because we are navigating in a very challenging and unknown areas, the new territories. I guess trusting the capabilities, trusting the decisions of each level, leadership to the employees to the operational levels coming in, is going to make it more cohesive and working together and navigate into a common direction. I really liked it, Ricardo. Thank you so much for sharing that. Moving on, I would like to further drill down into a little bit into now we discussed with regards to the organizational structures, the processes, how can we make sure that we are geared up and have the right mindset and culture in place to drive this. So looking at into a more onto moving a little one level down into the operational driving of things, I would like to turn to Esther again. Esther, in your view, how do you think that as businesses, how can they shorten the decision making cycle, and then that things happen faster but without sacrificing or compromising on the quality? How can we tackle that? What are your thoughts on it?
This is the problem, quality, because sometimes we are asking as an organization to do the things do the things as productive, and AI thinks that we are going to be more productive, but we couldn't think about that only productive is the goal. We need to be to maintain the quality. If we don't maintain the quality, even the changes, finally our customer will not trust us. So we need to keep in mind that the quality is the most important, because productivity is okay, of course. All the organization wants productivity. AI automation will be the panacea, will be the goal to have better productivity and better because of the automation. But what happened with the quality? We cannot avoid to have the same quality, and this is something that we need to reinforce our teams. Even the changes, we cannot avoid the quality of our services, or because I'm working in services, but in our services, our delivery, our things. So even productivity, that is what the CEOs or the C-levels, as Charlene said, ask for. Please think about that quality should be our goal. So this is why we need to be clear that without quality, we will not have business. So even AI automation is productivity, and all is thinking about productivity. We are at the end. Products, we are delivering product services with quality. Without quality, we have nothing, because the customer will not trust us, and finally we will not have anything.
Absolutely. No, that's very interesting. That draws me into one of the earlier points. One of the panelists shared as well. We are here to meet the customer demand, customer requirements, and make them happy. So if you compromise on the quality, then you're losing the main point of survival, I would say. Very valid point. Yes, even though productivity is going to give us certain gains as an organization or as leaders, but then if you're losing the main demand or your core objective, yes, that could put us all in a high risk. Thank you so much, Esther, for that very important point. Next, I would like to sort of go into looking at the technology side a little bit more. Before that, let me just do a quick time check. Yes, we have about another 10 to 15 minutes, which is very good because it is a very interesting conversation. So I would like to turn to Charlene again to talk a little bit about your insights and your experience. Why do you think, what are the risks of us over relying on technology when trying to adapting to change? Because there seems to be a lot of innovations happening, and then there was a question on the chat as well saying there are a lot of tools out there which is like tsunamiing us. So what kind of risk or what are the challenges that which is putting us in when you over rely on technology?
It's such a good question, and I think I deal with it every single day, to be honest with you. When we implement technology into businesses and you go into that first workshop, everybody's got this very idea of you going to make something that's going to be amazing. And it's at the same time, they don't want the change, but they're looking for something that fixes all their problems. And first thing I want to say, technology is an enabler. It's there to help you and assist you. The information, the data quality, the quality of the system is really what is quite important. So it's how you use it at the end of the day. So if you are going to put processes in it that's not going to work, it's not going to work. Even if you go to the newest technology and bring in AI and all of these things, if the data is not there, it's not there. I currently work in an environment where it's very much regulated. The tax authorities on a regular basis say to businesses, you need to do now reporting, compliance reporting. And a lot of these companies struggle because when we actually start looking at their business processes, there are so many gaps in it. So technology, yes, you can build some processes and all of that in, but if you're not really going to look after that system, it is going to fail at some point or another. And when that failure happens, and it happens to us on a daily basis, I think on a regular basis, we see about security. We all get that training, do your security training, don't do this, don't do that. It is so important to understand that those things are coming up because this happens on a regular basis. The other thing I do want to say is there's one thing about technology, and we keep on saying AI. I maybe have a little bit of a different opinion than most on AI. You cannot, you have to use intuitiveness, analytical thinking to improve something. And that is not something that I think AI has got there now. But those are things that if we are going to rely on a computer telling a computer what to do, we might as well have gaps. So I think it is really, for me, where technology can fail is we as people not really putting in and making sure that we have the right quality, business processes, data, security, all of that in place. And that the technology we implement is only as good as what we give it at the end of the day.
Amazing. I really like how you summed it up, Charlene. Basically, we need to have our house in order before we go and ask technology to help us, right? Whether it's the quality, the security, the process, and then it should be regularly maintained, update, which is very important. And also, I like the fact that what you said is AI is not there yet. It's not there where it has reached to advising us how things should be done. Even AI as a whole has not reached the 100% reliability, accuracy yet. So asking a technology to help us, I think, yes, as humans, we are still in the leading seat. And then we should be able to be making our judgment calls and then professional calls based on our experience, intuition, and analytics before we ask technology to take over and help us. I think, yes, I completely agree with you. Technology is not the solution, it's one of the solutions. Thank you so much, Charlene, for that. I guess I have one to take on one last question. I would like to turn to Shivantika on this one. So we sort of talked about, like, the changing environment, how rapidly things are changing, adopting new technology. So there's a lot of things happening around when it comes to the skill set or the human resources of an organization as well. So based on your thoughts and experience, Shivantika, how do you think, how can businesses retain top talent in periods of uncertainty? How can we tackle that?
Yes, interesting question. In order to retain high performance or the top talents in the organizations with a rapidly changing business environment, the great leaders can use some amazing tools and techniques. Let me share about few techniques. First, and the very important thing is decentralized decision making. Right, so the decentralized decision making in the sense allow individuals or team members to take decision based on their expertise and what the information they have. So as a result of this decentralized decision making, people save time rather than going to unnecessary steps to get or obtain the approvals, right? And as a result of that, this it speed up the decision making, as well as it give more accurate information, as well as it's empower or inspire team members to work in a collaborative manner. Because when the decentralization culture is implanted in the organization, people more likely to work in a collaborative manner and take collective decisions, which is very powerful rather than taking a single decision. And also, another important thing is a recognition of the people. In order to retain the top talents in the organization, great leaders should always think about how to recognize, how to value the people's effort. It can be small thank you, or it can be a big shout out, whatever. Whenever your team members achieved any milestone and performed the particular job, in in very powerful way, in very successful way, we can praise them, we can recognize them. It can be a peer-to-peer recognition, it can be public recognition, it can be awarding some certificates or gifts. There are many ways that you can apply these tools and techniques in order to retain top talents within organization. Because if you do not apply these techniques to return top talents, they may leave within a matter of seconds, because this is a team effort. This is not a single man show, right? This is a team effort. So retaining high performers or the top talents in the organization, we have to carefully handle this human factor, because within blink of an eye, they can demotivate. Another important thing is you have to encourage the constructive feedback, not destructive feedback. As long as when you encourage the destructive feedback, they no more sustain within your organization. So always we have to encourage the constructive feedback. When you provide the constructive feedback, they feel that their voices are heard, that their ideas are recognized, and they feel that they are trusted within the organization decision-making process. So these are the tips and tricks the great leaders can apply in order to sustain top talents or the high performance, no matter what the changes happening in the environment, but in order to sustain, because they never ever leave you if you embrace these kind of tips and tricks in order to sustain them within your organization.
Absolutely. I really loved it. Thank you so much, Swantika. And I see on the chat, Krishnan Srinivasan also said they should be feeling valued. I think that sums up what you shared very nicely. We need to make sure that everybody's part of the decision-making process so they feel empowered, recognized, and also recognition. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be always monetary, but making sure that they are motivated, recognized, and rewarded. And also the last one, which you said, is that the constructive feedback, which is what going to make anybody or anything continuously improve. So that is something I think, yes, very good points that you have shared with us. All right. With that, unfortunately, I'll have to conclude the session, but I would ask Ashraf to give us a few minutes, maybe quickly, for our panelists to share one last message with our audience today, who are professionals, leaders, as project managers. What is your key message in making sure that surviving and thriving in a rapidly adapting and changing business environments? Who would like to go first?
If I may, I would like to do that.
Yes, Ricardo.
Okay, so first of all, I think that it's been a great session, great comments. And here's just one of the takeouts of this. We need to risk what we are doing sometimes. We need to take chances. We need to trust ourselves on the knowledge that we have, on the project management background, on whatever we do. And we need to move. We need to move fast. If we just stop and try to see what we're going to do, we're never going to get to where we want to get. So we need to risk ourselves sometimes. We need to take some chances, but we need to know, because we know that we are capable of doing that. So that's one of the things. I talked about trusting our team. Now it's moment to trust ourselves as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for that. Who would like to share next?
I could be.
Yes, Esther.
For me, we are in a moment where all the things are going to change. AI will be in all of our world. So we need to train, we need to learn about AI and how to use it. And we need to empower our teams and ourselves.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Esther. Who would go next? Yes, Shivantika.
Yes, in order to survive, in order to succeed in this rapidly changing environment, of course, we have to have the mindset that changes are inevitable and inevitable. So we have to adapt our systems, our mindsets, our attitudes, as well as displays in order to accept these changes. And also we have to encourage a continuous learning, because if you don't have the updated knowledge or skills, competence, it will be difficult for us to survive or thrive in the market. As well as we have to develop our emotional intelligence skills. We have to think about how to retain the top talents, how to have a core relationship, strong bond and trust between you and the employee. So that is about my end. Thank you, Anjana.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shivantika, for that last note. Who would go next? Charlie or Tao?
Okay, I will go. So just one paragraph, one sentence. Just so in this fast shifting landscape, the goal is not just not survive change, it's to make change your competitive advantage. So Agile help us iterate fast, and AI help us to decide smarter. So together they unlock quick wins, smart pivots, and long-term adaptivity. So that's my word. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Tao, for that. Charlie, then it's you.
How do you follow all of that? I think I can only say what a lot of people have said here. Change is constant. I keep on seeing that coming up a lot. But what is amazing is that we have the capabilities to be part of a change. So I think we all just need to go out there and see how we can impact it in the most positive way. If it is through learning, if it is through acceptance, if it is and this is not just in a business, this is at our homes and anywhere else. We're all leaders in our own ways, and we can motivate that and bring that. So that's all I can say is we will always have this. But yeah, let's go and do it, and let's make the best of it.
Absolutely. So last closing comment from my end is that we need to be brilliant in the basics of project management, basics of how to do what you're doing. You need to have a solid foundation and understanding. But as we are in rapidly changing environments and an era, we'll have to think differently. Summing up every experience that was shared with you today with this wonderful panel, the key message for me is that we need to push the boundaries. We need to trust in ourselves, have faith, and then take that leap of faith and then continuously think differently how best we can bring in change using and also improving ourselves, resilience and capabilities, etc., into thrive in this environment. So with that, I want to say a huge thank you to our wonderful panelists for sharing their insights and experience with us. I've made a whole lot of notes for myself as well, and I'm sure I see the response coming in, which is really appreciated, and the comments. So thank you for the wonderful audience today for engaging with us. With that, I'll hand over back to Ashraf for the rest of the agenda.
Thank you, Anjana. Thank you so much. Thank you, panel. I think that was a very engaging session with all of you together, and we really were able to bring out many insight about the topic that we were discussing today. Thank you, Anjana, for driving it through and helping us understand the topic better and giving us a lot of points for us to discuss and think about. And thank you, panelists. Thanks a lot. Moving on to the next session. Frank, do you want to, Frank, can you start your camera, please? We have a spotlight chapter to be presented. Aman, can you check if Frank is around?
Yeah, checking.
Yeah, ping me that he is already joined.
Moving him to webinar. 1 second. He was at backstage.
Thank you. Hey, hi, Frank. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone from Accra, Ghana.
Just a minute, Frank. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Just a minute. Let me pull the slides and give a quick introduction about you to our audience. Okay, this is one. This goes here. You able to see my screen, Frank?
Yes, now it's perfect.
Now it is?
Hope you are able to see it.
Thank you. So Frank is the president from the Ghana chapter, and he's a seasoned construction engineer and engineering and business development project manager with diverse academic background, holding an MSc in engineering, a project management, a BSc in IT, and an HND in electrical and electronic engineering. Certified as a PMP and Scrum Functional Certified, he excels in leading cross-functional team to deliver complex IT projects. His expertise span both Agile and waterfall methodologies, with hands-on experience in full-stack development projects and membership association management system. With a proven track record in stakeholder management, engagement, and quality assurance within construction and engineering environment, he is known for being proactive, meticulous, and highly effective in culturally diverse and challenging settings. So I welcome Frank to do a session on the Spotlight chapter for the Ghana chapter. Moving on, Frank, are you ready? I'm moving on to the next session, next slide.
Yes, Ahmad.
Go ahead, please.
Ahmad, please let me know if I'm audible enough from your side.
Yes, you are audible.
Great. Good afternoon to all of you from Accra, Ghana, and good afternoon to the PMI Ghana chapter members who are on the call. And thank you very much for your patience, for holding on, and Ahmed for sorting me out when I had technical challenges. So the Project Management Institute, or PMI Ghana chapter, was chartered by PMI in July 2011. And so for 14 years, we have been growing in leaps and bounds. As of today, our membership stands as 2,130. And one thing we have done is that, apart from the fact that we are a professional association, we are also one big family. And we connect so well through various channels of communication on WhatsApp, email, our website, and other portals, that we have become a family. And over the years, the chapter was started by one Mr. Dickinson Ejapon Bempa, the first president, who handed over to Augustine Harrington Nunu. Augustine also handed over to Albert, and Albert handed over to Jumoke. Jumoke is the first female president of the chapter, and she's actually the first person to have run all the 2 consecutive terms. So in all, she did 4 years as the president, and she handed over to me, and I have also been taking it from there. In addition to this, we have amazing volunteers who give up their time, their expertise, and everything that they have for the benefit of the chapter. And in July, because our chapter was started in July, we do a lot of great things in July, including our National Project Management Conference and Project Management Excellence Awards, which is coming off next week from 23rd to 25th. And we are going to one of the most amazing resorts in Ghana, and we are going to be there for 3 days, listening to great keynote speakers, workshops, and also engaging in other networking activities. And we are not leaving the people there alone. We have adopted a school, a very deprived school, and we are going to have what you call social impact activities. We are going to provide electrical wiring for the entire school building, and also provide a means for the children to be able to cross the river that they usually cross to be able to access education with some safety life jackets and other things in order to also shape the future of those children. So we are here in Ghana, and we are doing much more great things beyond the fact that we are a professional association. We are ensuring that the people we serve, the people in the communities where we ply our trades and engage in project management activities are also feeling our presence. And that's what we do, and a lot more. As you can see on the screen, we put up a library in 2023 for a school. That's what you see in this on the slides. And all the funds came from the benevolence of our members. The next one, we spent Christmas with an orphanage last year, and the children were so amazed at the benevolence of our members. So we are in Ghana here, and we can feel the community of over 725 members in PMI, and each and every one of us is taking a cue from it, and we are benefiting from the network. If you could go back a bit to the previous slide, Ahmed.
Yes, yeah.
The previous slide, yes. Yes, that is the picture over there is the board, the current board that we have, a very diverse and balanced board, equal number of males and females. And these are very experienced people, volunteers in the past. And that is what we have on the board, in addition to our various portfolio heads and other volunteers who are driving change across the country. So apart from the headquarters of the chapter in Accra, we have 5 other branches across the regions in order to be able to reach out to all our members across the country. So thank you to all my volunteers, the board members, and all members in PMI Ghana chapter, and also to say PMI Mumbai, Ayuko means well done for holding on and sustaining this great initiative, which is benefiting all of us and our members. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and Ayuko once again to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your patience and helping us get you on the stage. We'd like to hear more, and we'll collaborate more with the Ghana chapter to see more things happening. I think we're almost at the end of the session, and I'll just do a last final catch up. Just hold on. I have to share my screen, and then Moving on to the next element of the event today, that is about the spotlight on you. And today we have Emmanuel Ano from Ghana chapter, who has given a quote: change begins at the end of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. This is so very true. And unless you get out of your comfort zone, things will not progress. Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, today we have around 350 members who have joined us from different countries, and there was some challenge with respect to the platform that we are working on. We moved from Airmeet to Zoom today, and we'll continue on Zoom going forward. And I think that has created some discomfort, as some of our members who have been visiting us on Airmeet had some challenges in connecting today. This is a feedback form, so I request all members to share the feedback. I'll take a few seconds here and post your feedback on the same QR code. I'm quickly moving to the registration link for our next event. I request all to click on this link and register for yourself. I'll also share the link in the chat box. So we are having the next event, Sustainability and Green Project Management, on 15th of August, by the following panelists chapter: Lahore, Malaysia; Baggio, Zimbabwe; and Phoenix. I think with that, we come to the end of our discussion today, and I'll like to take this opportunity to thank all our volunteers and also the attendees who registered for this session and attended this session, because we have 2,000 plus members who registered for the event, but only 25 to 30% of them turn up. So we'll request more people to join our events. A heartfelt thank to all the attendees who registered for this session and attended this. We thank for giving your time and attention today. We will be back again next month. Follow our social media handle for more. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. For the panelists, we have a certificate which will be shared probably end of, not today, not tonight, maybe tomorrow or day after. I will request you to make good use of it. Post it in your LinkedIn, WhatsApp handle, LinkedIn, Facebook handle, and help us market or propagate this great initiative across the globe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Tao. Bye.
Bye.